House Democrats unveiled their budget proposal this week. What do you think?
Well, they did the same thing that the governor did. They included $1.2 billion in either increased or new taxes. And they took the entire rainy day fund, left about $300 million in it. What's going to happen? You know, we've got international issues with North Korea. We have the issues with the federal budget. You know, candidly, we've been down that road before. And the last time Governor Gregoire did that, we had, I believe, 2 special sessions because we had such issues with the revenue at that point during the recession. So I think that's a poor choice to just set aside $300 million. You know, first take the entire rainy day fund and then just set aside a very small amount. Remember, our budgets are like $34 billion. So that's just a dime in the bucket.
We've got about $2 billion more in revenue coming in, a 6.6% increase, and they still want more taxes?
They do. That's crazy. You know, the taxpayers in Washington State have already sent us additional revenue to make the down payment on McCleary for education and still protect our vulnerable citizens. It's going to be very interesting to see how the House budget meshes with the Senate budget. We could candidly be here for quite a while.
And you said they tap into the rainy day fund. Doesn't that take a supermajority vote, a 3/5 vote?
It does, and the irony there is they have supported repeatedly overturning the Taxpayer Protection Act, which, as you know, requires a 2/3 majority to raise taxes. So it's a very interesting dynamic right now. So basically the Democrats are going to need our votes on raiding the rainy day fund. Stay tuned on that one.
The Senate budget is truly a bipartisan budget. It had some yays and nays from both sides of the aisle, but that's not what we're seeing from the House, is it?
The House budget, I watched it on TVW last night. We all do when we're over here. That's probably a pretty sick thing, but actually I wanted to see how they framed the budget discussion in the House Appropriations Committee. It was crazy. It took hours and hours before the bill ever came up. And when it did, they've pretty much done the same thing. They haven't taken our advice. They haven't tried to work with us in terms of, can we do this without raising taxes? What does it look like? And so really, frankly, their budget's just more of the same thing. And I'll be honest, the Senate's really is a compromise. I mean, there's things you may or may not like, but what I appreciate is the Democrats and Republicans sat down to draft a budget. And I think, frankly, that's what citizens in Washington State expect of their legislature is to sit down together and try and work it out. I know for folks back home, they've been getting very irritated that we continue to have special session after special session to deal with things that, frankly, we should be able to take care of. So stay tuned.